Jeff Ahm in his second year out of Notre Dame. He has made it back from arthroscopic knee surgery. Second quarter is underway. Houston 7 and the Jets nothing. And it's back to the ground with Brad Baxter getting the call. Stopped by William Fuller. Baxter with his first carry.
Boy, Fuller made a nice play. He came upfield and then went right back into the hole and made the tackle on Brad Baxter and held him to like about a 2-yard gain. But it was just a super play by the defensive end.
It'll be a 3rd down and 5 at the Houston 21. And now Freeman McNeil has come on for the first time.
Excellent receiver.
McNeil ran well in Miami last week. 11 carries and 55 yards. Remains in the backfield for block. And O'Brien guns it to the tight end Boyer. Right at the first down marker, he was popped by the right corner Richard Johnson. And they are spotting it as a Jet first down.
Well, O'Brien just sees Boyer at the last second. He was looking downfield. Watch O'Brien's eyes. He's looking to his right. He's looking downfield. Now watch right at the last second on the left. There's Boyer. Now he's got to get it to him. He gets it to him right now. Good hands. First down.
Jets first down at the Houston 15. Minute and a half gone by in the second. And again, O'Brien able to complete this time. It's Al Toon with a short pickup. Richard Johnson on the stop. It has been an odd season for Al Toon. 74 catches, 963 yards. Very impressive stats. However, 0 touchdowns.
Look on the right of the screen there, folks. That's 0 touchdowns. You know, I counted, and they list the NFL stats. 41 receivers in the top 41. He's the only one without a touchdown. I think every receiver that's only caught like 1 or 2 balls in the league has at least 1 touchdown.
Had his best opportunity a couple of weeks ago. Dropped one in the end zone against the Detroit Lions. Second down and 6. And it's Hector, stopped by Doug Smith, who was very quick to get back in there. It's the 8th play of the drive. Terrence Mathis in motion. O'Brien off the roll. Throwing end zone. Let's see, was he in? It's Al Toon.
They call it a touchdown.
Yes, he caught it. His first touchdown of the season.
Toon is isolated on the outside on Johnson. Watch this. And Toon goes back into the corner, runs a post, what they call post corner pattern. The question is, does he have control of the ball? They got to view it.
The replay official is Al Sabato. And following the review, they are calling it a Jet touchdown. So Al Toon, who did not score a touchdown during the regular season, has one here in the playoffs. 8 plays, 39 yards, and here is the Jets' new kicker, Raul Alegre, who has replaced the injured Pat Leahy. And he has tied the game at 7. Pat Leahy, incidentally, yesterday was placed on injured reserve because of the hip and hamstring problem. Game tied at 7. We'll be right back. And there is Pat Leahy, who made the trip here to Houston. Incidentally, Raul Alegre's closest friend on the Jets, as it turns out, is Pat Leahy. And the kick out of bounds, ball at the 35.
You know, I talked to Pat Leahy, and you always tell me about hanging around in lobbies. We have to go through the lobby to get to the meeting room. So I was in the lobby, and Leahy backed him up and said, I am inactive,
Kickoff out of bounds,
but I am not retiring. I will be back to play.
First down.
At 40 years of age, he is the oldest player in the NFL placed on injured reserve. Yesterday had an up and down season, and then Alegre came on last week, and he was one of the heroes. A couple of pressure kicks in the overtime victory against Miami. As it turns out, Alegre, along with Teddy Garcia and Ian Howfield, were battling for the Houston kicking job during training camp.
And Howfield won it.
And then he was replaced by Del Greco. The Oilers take over at the 35-yard line. Moved under pressure. Goes incomplete. Going 8 for 10, 64 yards. However, he's 0 for his last 4. He had a sensational game against the Jets at Giants Stadium back in Week 7. Moore was looking up top and then decides to go to shoulder with Lorenzo White. And he is shy of a first down, kept away by Lonnie Young.
Lorenzo White is a tough player, and again, he is not very happy. This is his first start this year, and he's not a happy man. He's got a 2-year contract this year and 1 more. But battled that time to try to get the first down, just a little bit short. They got 3rd and I'd give it to Lorenzo after that last run. Why not?
Four minutes gone by in the second quarter. 81 Gibbons peeling off to the right. And it is White. He battles his way for the first down. It is a first down at midfield. One of the all-time Houston Oilers great players, Earl Campbell, who certainly heard more than his share of cheers here at the Astrodome. And Moore's pass deflected, incomplete, intended for Jeffries. Clifton getting a piece of it. If Houston wins today, they will face the Denver Broncos at Mile High in Denver in a second-round playoff game. That will be next Saturday. And if the Jets win, they play next Sunday at Buffalo. Second down and 10 at the 50. With the departure of Chuck Noll and Sam Weish, Jack Pardee, who you saw a moment ago on the sideline, now the elder statesman among head coaches in the AFC Central. Bill Belichick in his rookie season as head man in Cleveland. Bruce Coughlin in his second year with the Jets also among the senior members. Lorenzo White has stopped back behind the line. Mercereau and Bird combined make the stop. All the head coach shuffling over the past week. Coughlin said he's upset he's no longer the youngest head coach in the league with the hiring of 32-year-old David Shula by the Bengals. And Coughlin told us he remembers coaching Shula at the 1980 Senior Bowl when Shula was a wide receiver out of Dartmouth College.
But he's still the youngest coach in New York, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Okay, see now, Bruce, you got something to look forward to. We're talking about the other sports.
And he says the way things have been going in New York, he may soon have longevity on all the other coaches in the other sports. Third down and 11. Coughed it up, but the Oilers able to cover up. Looked like Munchak. And there is Jeff Lageman, who had both sides of his head shaved by Scott Mercereau and James Hasty. Jeff said, unfortunately, several teammates remember that he had vowed to shave his head if the Jets made the playoffs. Terrence Mathis on the fair catch. It is now a ponytailed mohawk look being sported by Jeff Lageman. Penalty flag is down. 39-yard punt by Montgomery.
Let me explain something to you about Lageman when he cut his hair, because he okayed it.
Yes.
He didn't just jump up and cut his hair. He said okay. Like a legal motion by Houston, what do? Do you make him kick again, or you take the ball at the 20? I think they're going to bring it back if it's
illegal formation on a kicking team 5 yards from the previous spot. We'll replay fourth down.
All right, so Montgomery will kick it again. It's one of the bobbers showing his work on Lageman. Scott Mercereau. We asked Dennis Bird if he would follow suit and get a mohawk haircut along the lines of his fellow linemen, Mercereau and Lageman. He said no way. In fact, his daughter was petrified of them, referring to getting a first look at Mercereau and Lageman. Montgomery line drives it, and it carries out of bounds.
Well, they picked up 3 yards on the play.
8:36 remaining in the second quarter. It is a 38-yard punt by Greg Montgomery. Out at 7. A matchup of 2 teams that have struggled in the second half of the season. Brandon McNeil in the backfield. McNeil out across the 25-yard line, met by the free safety Bo Orlando.
One of the big questions for Houston going into this game was Lamar Lathan, number 57, and if they lose him for some reason, they're down to just 2 reserve linebackers.
Yes, Lathan bothered by a rib and a back injury, and one of the problems, according to defensive coordinator Jim Eddy, that the Oilers had last week against the Giants when Lathan went down without Childress, there was a lot of confusion in there. Here's O'Brien throwing deep downfield, and it is intercepted. Bo Orlando, who had 4 interceptions during the regular season, has picked off the pass intended for Rob Moore.
Well, this pass actually drifts towards the middle of the field. Bo Orlando is not in on the coverage. Johnson is on Moore, but watch Bo Orlando. Look where the ball is thrown. The ball is thrown way to the inside. There was just no chance for Rob Moore to get it. We'll be back right after this.
Following that interception by Bo Orlando, Houston takes over from their 24-yard line. And Moore's pass incomplete. Houston Oilers seeing a host of 2nd and 10s. Warren Moon has not been connecting on first down. The intended receiver was Ernest Gibbons. And there is Bo Orlando, second-year player out of West Virginia, who has made great strides. Came to training camp as the number 4 man on the list of free safety candidates, and he's been a starter most of the season.
Good football player. I mean, and he plays very smart. And that time he was right there in the middle of the field where he was supposed to be. He knew that Johnson had the outside on Moore. All he had to do was take the middle.
It is a 2nd and 10 at the 24. Houston and the Jets tied at 7. We're midway through the second. On the ground, it's Lorenzo White. Lorenzo White slashing his way across the 30, brought down by R.J. Cord. It is a 3rd down and 2. Gibbons in motion. Completes to Hill for the first down and more. He went for 19. And that's the 4th reception of the day for Drew Hill.
Now, see, here's the situation we were talking about before. When you give Warren Moon enough time, what the Jets did that time is they double up on the outside. When they do that, they leave the middle open now. Stargell can't get back. Hill is there. Coors 25 is still too deep, and Brim finally comes up and tries to help out on the play. But the problem is Moon has enough time to watch the defenses. And what the Jets are trying to do is play a little one-on-one on the outside and cover the middle with 2 people.
Houston first down at the New York Jet 48-yard line. They have been very ineffective on first down. And that carries right through as Lorenzo White was met back behind the line by Tony Stargell.
Tony Stargell is playing like in a linebacker spot on the outside. Red run right off the bat, and made the tackle for a loss of about 2 yards. But again, that time when the Oilers put 3 receivers on one side of the field, they're almost assured on the side where there is only 1 receiver to get single coverage with Brim, especially on Brim's side.
It is a 2nd and 12 at the 50. Once again, 81 Gibbons in motion, lines up in the slot, and once again a problem with the snap. That's the 3rd time as the flags come flying.
Ball start.
Moon pulled out.
Quarterback pulling out without the ball prior to the snap. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Matthews wasn't giving it to him. Bruce Matthews is the center, wouldn't give it to him. Moon's underneath the center. Now watch this. There's Matthews. Watch Moon. As he moves, that's it. They can come. He's late. Matthews, or Moon's too soon.
What you think at this stage of the season? It is most unusual where Matthews and Moon would have so many problems.
You really do. In a game of this magnitude, you better get your signal straight because the crowd is quiet when the offense has the ball.
They did have a couple of difficult moments last week against the Giants, but nothing working in that game. Second down and 17, and Moon's picking the ball. Almost given inside the 20.
Does he explode? Moon puts this ball the only place it can be caught. He's going to throw it back out here to his left. He's throwing to Ernest Givens. Watch the catch and then the explosion afterwards. Bang, he's down and he's moving. He's going to cut back in, starts with 45, could not make the play on the ball, but does get back in and make the tackle. But once Givens gets the ball, he's gone.
Beautiful change of pace move. That goes for 35 yards. Houston first down at the Jet 20. The game is tied at 7. And Moon throwing end zone. Touchdown. Good.
Givens gets 3 touchdown passes and they win the game. They should give him his bonus. That time the Jets tried to double up on the outside, on the 2 outside guys, Jeffries being one of them. And it ended up with Coors, number 25, is the man trying to cover Givens coming across the middle. And that's almost impossible.
Well, the last time these clubs met, Hayward Jeffries killed the Jets. Today, it has been Ernest Givens. Second touchdown for Givens. 4 catches for 66 yards. And it's Houston 14. The Jets 7. The crowd still reacting to the touchdown pass thrown by Warren Moon to Ernest Givens. Moon is now 12 for 20, 148 yards. And here's Al Del Greco kicking it off. It is Terrence Mathis taking the big hit. Scott Kozak, backup linebacker who has been excelling on special teams, making the tackle. And the Jets starting out from their 18. The swing for Freeman McNeil. And he's hit out of bounds by Darrell Lewis. We've received a report from the Houston locker room. Doug Smith, who went down and then returned, we're told is being checked out. X-rays of the ribs for Smith. And as you know, Ray Childress sitting it out with a broken rib and a lower back strain. If Houston is able to advance to next week, the hope is that Childress will return. And Lamar Lathan in a there's Childress, very fragile situation, but able to hang in despite the back and rib problems. A second down and 5 from the 23. It's to the other side, and Boyer is locked. Oh, was he hit by Bubba McDowell up from strong safety? And that is short of a first down.
Bubba McDowell makes a shot on Boyer, and you know the Houston defensive back is saying, hey, you've been knocking our people around, now it's our turn. Boyer catches, then he catches Bubba McDowell, and down he goes. It'll be 3rd and about 2. You know, O.J. brought an interesting point up on NFL Live, the fact that Childress, in the 4 games that he has missed for the Houston Oilers, they've lost all 4.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's the 3rd down play. O'Brien. Lee Williams, who has replaced Ray Childress at the inside left defensive tackle position, coming up with the sack. Yes, affected more severely when he plays inside. Aguiar from his 5, setting a high pop-up. And the fair catch handled by Coleman, but a flag thrown. It's a 42-yard punt.
actually, what happens is they're going to get called right here. But, you know, Eric McMillan is blocked into Coleman by number 86, Alex Johnson. And this is what the complaint is. And Eric had no choice. He tried to avoid the punt returner. It is going to be a 15-yard penalty, and it's not that man's fault. And he knows it. He got blocked
Interference with the opportunity. Number 22, 15-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
See, this affects the ball, and this should be used as far as the replay is concerned. I know that it doesn't. Watch what happens on the left of the screen. See it? There is Alex Johnson pushes him into Pat Coleman. He tries to avoid him. That is a great job to try to avoid him, and he gets penalized for it. That's why this is infected by the ball. Look at this. I mean, he gets out of the way. Blocked into him.
Yeah, break for the Houston Oilers as they start out from the Jets' 45-yard line. Here's the screen for White. His way inside the 40, stopped by R.J. Coors. We're down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. An 8-yard advance by White. The Oilers with a 14-7 lead on touchdown passes from Moon to Gibbons. 1 for 5 and 1 for 20 yards. The Jets score. O'Brien on a 10-yard touchdown pass to Toon.
Hurry up, they're trying to get one more play before the 2 minutes. They got it off.
Moon goes just right, and that stops the clock, although we get the 2-minute warning through Hill on the reception for the first down. It goes for 12 with 1 minute and 55 to go in this second quarter.
And Dennis Byrd takes a shot at Moon on the way down. You see Moon back to pass. He's going to get the ball to Hill. Here comes number 90, Byrd. He's in motion. That's a good play by Byrd.
2-minute warning. We'll be right back.
It's a bad call. It really was.
And the first down from the 26. Moon's pass is caught by Duncan. And that is a short pickup covered up by Mike Brim.
That's one of those passes if you wish you could, someone can yell at him, don't catch the ball, because it stops the clock. If you don't catch it, they only picked up a yard on the play, but they want to catch everything. 2 yards.
Minute and a half remaining in this first half. And Houston with a 14-7 lead on the Jets.
His movement again, and there's miscommunication between the center and the quarterback, and that's Matthews, number 74, and Moon, number 1. Again,
False start. Number 63 offense, moving prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And the end result is sent back to a second down and 13 at the 29. And Moon's pass is dropped. Bryce Gibbons could not hold on. Lonnie Young on the cover. That's the first drop we've seen today. Among many problems the Oilers had last week against the Giants, a host of drop passes.
Now this time Gibbons goes down and he hooks up. Lonnie Young is there. The ball hits him right in the hands. Running before you have control of the ball. He's upset with himself. That ball was perfect. But they are in field goal range.
Ernest Gibbons, you'll notice, still wearing that plexiglass visor. There's Al Del Greco, who had a good one in the wing last week at Giant Stadium. Ernest Gibbons wearing the plexiglass visor protecting the broken nose, which may require more surgery following the season. Whoa, and that one through the hands of Duncan, who took the hit after he missed the catch.
That ball almost knocked him out. I mean, Moon read blitz right now and fired at Curtis Duncan, and it just looked like he wasn't prepared to catch it, because that thing just ricocheted off his shoulder.
And this will be a 46-yard attempt for Al Del Greco. One-time Packer, one-time Cardinal. He's 10 for 13 for the season. He had a 52-yarder earlier this season. And this one, no good. Off to the right. So with 1:10 remaining in the second quarter, the Jets will take over, trailing the Oilers by the score of 14-7. And then the Fiesta matching Penn State and Tennessee, followed by a prime-time showdown in Miami in the Federal Express Orange Bowl. The top-ranked Miami Hurricanes, looking for their 4th national title in 9 years, go up against Nebraska. Altoon on a 16-yard hookup. And Chris Dishman made the stop with 1:04 remaining in the half.
Now the Jets have 1:04 in what I got to believe that Bruce Cousins said to Kenny O'Brien, look it, let's get down. We want to try and score. Get at least 3 on the board. But let's not make a mistake, because we are going to get the ball back in the second half. We receive.
First down at the 45. O'Brien with a short-range pump to Freeman McNeil, who was immediately hit down by a couple of Oilers led by Lamar Lathan.
The Jets have 3 timeouts and are running a hurry up. It's second down. See, I'd take one of the timeouts.
2nd and 2.
Now take it.
Yes, that is a first down. Mathis on the catch, stopped by Robertson. And now the timeout is taken with 36 seconds to go in the half. .36 seconds remaining in the half. The Jets with a first down at the Houston 42. The Oilers leading by the score of 14-7.
See, the reason I said I would take a timeout on the play before, because that last play took 20 seconds to run by the time he was tackled, and then the timeout was taken. So on Freeman McNeil's play, it had been second down in about 3 or 4, but take the timeout and save the clock. You have 3 of them, now they're down to 2.
And O'Brien able to complete to McNeil with a short pickup, and the clock is now stopped with 29 seconds to go. Ken O'Brien showing stats of 11 for 14, but really has not been able to get much going. The statistics, including a touchdown and an interception, but the Jets with only 7 points to show with 29 seconds remaining in the half.
See, here's a situation, too, that the middle of the field usually opens up because they want you to throw it in there and force you to take a timeout. It's wide open in the middle.
O'Brien going deep for 2. Dishman and Orlando on the coverage of Altoon.
And Marv, that time the middle of the field was wide open. There is a flag on the play. Holding against the defense. But there was a situation. They had Mathis coming across the middle.
Illegal use of the hands to the head. Number 90 defense. 5 yards. First down.
All right, Marv, we're going to show you some stuff here. Just all I want you to do is just take a look at this area right here. Take a look at this area. Watch this all open up. See, there's nobody there. Now there goes Mathis in the middle, and he doesn't throw the ball to him.
And back to the live action. There it is. O'Brien to the middle of the field, and it's caught at the 16. A 20-yard pass play. Altoon on the reception, stopped by Chris Dishman. That's 4 catches for Toon, and now the timeout taken with 14 seconds left. The Jets have 1 timeout remaining. Houston with 2 left.
And when you look at the middle of the field, they ask you to go into the middle of the field. Here you are back in here, and this is where Toon's going to end up with the ball. He's going to end up actually back down on the 15, down further. But when you watch it, watch this whole thing open up. There it is. It's wide open. All you see is green in here. Hold on a second, boys, because this is going to be right in here is where Toon's going to end up with the ball. Watch this. Nobody there. Nobody there. Oh, this is the long ball to Toon, the play before, but that was Mathis coming across, which was wide open. But the next play, exactly the same thing happened, but that time Toon comes across the middle.
14 seconds remaining in the half. The Jets first down at the Houston 16. Houston up by a touchdown. O'Brien off the roll. Throws, and it's broken up. Bubba McDowell on the coverage. Rob Moore, the intended receiver.
All right, Rob Moore is going to come all the way across the field. Johnson releases him to Bubba McDowell. Bubba McDowell's got him all the way across. Here's the throw. Bubba McDowell makes an excellent play on the ball. Now the Jets will try a field goal.
And Raul Alegre will attempt from 33 yards out. 3 for 4 in his Jet debut last week in the overtime victory in Miami. Aguilar puts it down, and Alegre's kick is good. With 4 seconds remaining in the first half, the Oilers now lead the Jets by the score of 14-10.
Everybody speculates what everybody else is going to do. Now, I'll tell you one thing that you're not going to do and I'm not going to do. That's another game. This is our last one this year.
Well, I'll be doing some NBA games.
Yeah, but that's basketball. I'm not talking about basketball.
All right, 4 seconds remaining in the half. And Houston with a 14-10 lead on the Jets. Here's the kick by Aguilar. Puts it on the ground. And it is handled by Glenn Montgomery. He's covering up with 1 second remaining. And here comes Warren Moon.
Jets put somebody back on the goal line. And wait. Washington is heading down that way. Brian Washington, number 48. R.J. Coors is heading that way. Hasty is heading that way. Brim is heading that way.
Are you saying just in case there is a Hail Mary attempt?
Well, you know, there's no reason why they...
Pretty risky at this point.
Oh, sure. Just knees. Out of here.
And that's the end of the first half here at the Astrodome in Houston. It's the Oilers 14 and the Jets 10 in this AFC wild card matchup. A couple of touchdown passes thrown by Moon, one by O'Brien, and a 33-yard field goal by Alegre. Now, to our studios in New York, let's go to Bob Costas.